Welcome to the Eudora Schools Foundation Deeper Dives, where we take a 30-minute glimpse at some of the amazing things happening in our Eudora schools. I'm Shanda Herla, the Eudora Schools Foundation Executive Director, and we're offering Deeper Dives each Wednesday as a fantastic opportunity for our foundation supporters and donors to learn the impact that their dollars have made in our Eudora classrooms. And this week, we're taking a deeper dive into innovation at the Eudora Elementary School, and specifically looking at some of the classroom grants that we were able to award this year back in the fall. Joining me today are Ashli Olivera and Jill Stutler, the Eudora Elementary Technology Teachers, Barbie Hartwell, the district's extended learning teacher, Heather Moore, Eudora Elementary fourth grade teacher, and Lynae Soderholm, the Eudora Elementary Kindergarten Teacher. Welcome to the four of you.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Well, before we start talking about your amazing Teacher Excellence grants, I want to have each of you introduce yourselves and then share one thing that you have learned this year from one of your students. What has one of your students taught you?
Okay, I'm Ashli Olivera, one of the technology teachers here at Eudora Elementary. One thing that I just seem to always learn from my students is really to keep an open mind and really just kind of keep being excited about what we're doing, because that really helps them to be excited about what we're doing also.
Very cool.
I'm Jill Stutler. I'm the other technology teacher. We learn from the kids every day, their excitement and they're willing to learn and try new things to push the envelope, and that keeps us trying to be as creative as possible in our classrooms.
That's fantastic.
I'm Barbie Hartwell. I'm the extended learning teacher. And what I constantly learn from kids is just dive in and get your feet wet and try. Don't look at it as something hard, but just start playing with it and you'll start figuring it out.
I love that. I love that.
My name is Heather Moore, a fourth grade teacher here at EES. And I just think that I'm constantly learning from them to just love learning again, to love books. And the best way to just really enjoy your time in the classroom is to laugh and have fun and just be creative. So thank you.
So lots of laughing. Good.
Yes.
I'm Lynae Soderholm. I'm a kindergarten teacher over here at the EES. Something that I learned this year more than ever before is just to not do everything for them, to let them fail, to let them get frustrated and work through it, because that's how they're going to learn the best. If I do everything for them, I'm just going to teach them that I do it better for them than they do, but I don't want them to have that mindset. I want them to learn, and I want them to feel like they got it on their own and to know that they can do it.
Oh yeah, that's fantastic. I agree. Thank you ladies so much for being here. As we begin to dive deep into talking about the Elementary School Teacher Excellence Grants, I wanted to start off by giving a little bit of brief history about the Teacher Excellence Grants and how they came about. So the Eudora Schools Foundation started in 2006, and shortly after that, thanks to some of our community donors and supporters, we were able to start a classroom grant process where teachers submitted their innovative ideas, and our board was able to look through those ideas and award funding so those things could take place. And since 2008, in terms of Teacher Excellence grants, over $60,000 have been invested back into our classrooms, supporting our teachers and really seeing enriching opportunities for students. So it has been tremendous, and we're so appreciative for our donors for supporting this. So Ashli and Jill, let's start with the both of you first. You were awarded the Stop Animation Grant, and I'd like to hear from you. What did you see or experience in our district that helped you come up with this grant idea?
I'll say I took a class this last summer on animation, and Ashley and I had talked before about trying to incorporate it into our classroom. And after taking that class, we came in the fall and decided this would be a great opportunity for the kids to change up our internet safety unit that we do every year. And the kids absolutely loved it and thrived with this lesson that we were able to do.
And I feel like with our district, we have kind of always been sort of on the leading edge as far as technology goes, especially having an actual technology classroom where students come and learn these things. And so this was kind of something that, like Jill had said, we've talked about for a couple of years, and it just kind of felt like it was something we were actually able to accomplish this year. And it was amazing, the ideas that the kids came up with, and how proud they were of their final projects, their videos that they created.
I think this is, I guess I was just unaware that just from what you just said, Ashley, that really Eudora Elementary and what you and Jill have done in the classroom is on the cutting edge of technology. And you're saying that other districts may not have technology classrooms like it's set up at elementary school. Can you talk more about that?
Well, there are several districts around us who do have technology, but it's not necessarily the same as what we do. We have had a chance the last couple of years to go out and visit different school districts, and the things that we're doing in Eudora, I just feel are so, it's really preparing our students for that, 21st century learning that we're expecting of them, and really teaching them those foundational skills that they may not get in their regular classroom.
That's fantastic. Thank you. I did not realize that. That is amazing, and that makes me really proud of our district and what you and Jill are doing every day. Jill, you mentioned you had done a professional development. You had went and taken a workshop on stop animation. So explain to us exactly what stop animation is and what resources you were able to purchase for your classroom and how that worked.
Well, stop animation is we took, had the kids do some work, do some research on internet safety and cover different topics within that area. But then we applied for the grant to get digital cameras, a tripod for the digital cameras, the memory card, so kids could design their animation as in terms of what it was going to entail. They had to create their own set and background that they had to create. They had to create characters, come up with the whole game plan of how they were going to execute this. So they took pictures every day they came to class. It took several class periods to get those pictures taken. They then took that and imported it into Photos or iMovie. They had to edit the pictures, and then they had to put all the pictures together. And for the pictures, still shots were a very limited amount of time, less than a second. You put them all together. They had to come up with a title for their show. Some kids even got creative and created some music, which incorporated GarageBand. So we used a variety of software programs as well as the digital cameras and the tripods. They learned so many different programs all in one unit.
Oh my gosh, that is tremendous. I think what a great hands-on project. And really, I mean, it was very diverse in what programs and technology you guys were using, and them using their creativity skills. What do you guys think that you then also your students learned and gained from this experience?
I think one thing we learned is how involved it is, and also, it took us a little bit longer than we thought it would, and the students really, the creativity on their part of coming up with their sets, working with their teammates because they had a group that they were working with, really getting those those group skills and, importing photos, using iMovie, using GarageBand, creating things. There was just so many different things that they picked up that they will be able to continue learning this. They can take this idea and later on in middle school, high school, create their own kind of stop animation for a project or something like that.
I love that. I love that. Well, I'm going to move on. So we're staying on time, but I want to go ahead and move to our next grant recipient, and that was Barbie Hartwell, who's the district's extended learning teacher, and you were able to do Kano computer kits. Tell us about what those exactly are, and then I want to find out how you actually got that idea.
Kano computer kits are the actual pieces to a computer that the kids got to learn the names of the different parts that actually make the computer work, from the motherboard to the sound to the keyboard. And they actually got to see what they look like. Usually when you get a laptop or computer, it's all encased and they have no idea what's actually going on behind the scenes to make that computer work. And so with the kits, they were able to touch and actually add those pieces in to make the computer actually come alive and work. And so I saw that as a need because in our district, we don't have any classes that actually teach kids about computers and how they work and the actual programming of a computer. And I really see that as a need for these kids as they become adults to understand how technology actually works and to do the programming it takes to make it work. The kids our kids are so technology advanced. We see them as having things in their hands from the time they're babies, but they don't get the chance to actually create the program, build the code, put it all together. They just play with it.
I was so impressed. I'm going to pull up the Kano computers, and you can see in the pictures there on the screen what those look like. And it was tremendous. I got to come in and take pictures and, actually, like you said, seeing what it looks like and then them being able to touch it and put it together. That's just such a great educational experience. That was just really tremendous. So what did you see? What were some of the things that you learned and your students learned and gained from this experience?
Yeah, the kids really loved learning the names of the motherboard. They thought that was so funny, but then understanding why it is called that and what it actually does and how it's kind of the brain of the computer. And since the case of the computer is see-through, they can actually see the different lights popping on as they touch different buttons and do different programs on the computer. And so even my high schoolers were thrilled with putting one together. I took one over to them and let them do it. And then I'm actually bringing it to life and coding on it. And so, and it's not just something that my elementary kids were thrilled with. And my high school freshmen were also enthralled with seeing actually how all of the pieces of a computer work together.
That is tremendous, really to have that huge range of age developmentally, and then also that they're able, all of them at different levels are able to code. That is just really tremendous. And it was such a fun project to see. And that was just great.
Go ahead. It wasn't just putting it together, but it was also now they're doing things like I have a middle schooler who really right now is thinking graphic design. And so she's able to learn about graphic design through different programs on the Kano computers that are teaching her about how do you change the color, how do you make the sizes of things bigger and smaller through JavaScript coding. And I have another kiddo who's really to the architecture side of things. And so they're building 3D three-dimensional shapes on the computer through coding.
Oh, that's fantastic. Well, thank you, Barbie. I want to go ahead and have Heather Moore, our fourth grade teacher, talk about her grant that she received for cue balls